Good news. I charged it for several hours before it was willing to cooperate again. Apparently, it doesn't hold a charge for a really long time because I was keeping it just over there by the balcony window door thing for weeks, letting it charge all the time. And then I took it away and I didn't have it there for, I don't know, maybe a week. And you saw what happened. It was in a box most of that time. But anyways, what I want to show you now is the mode. So obviously this is the off mode because it's not doing anything. And I'm going to get rid of one of these lights. And here's the first mode. When it senses movement, it turns on to full. And then after long enough time, it will shut off. So as long as nobody moves, don't move. Hey, don't move. You're going to trip it. See, it's not turning off because you're moving around. Stand. There we go. Thank you. And once it senses movement, well, apparently it isn't sensing movement right now. And it already drained yet again. Okay, I give up. Oh, now it's working again? What the heck? All right, so that's full brightness. And that's what you'll see if it's triggered or if you set it to the third mode, I mean after off, of course, which keeps it on full brightness all the time. So obviously it's not going to last all night. And this is half brightness, which also, when triggered, will go to full brightness. And that's the full brightness you'll get constantly. Okay, so that's it. So is it a great choice? It depends on the price. I guess if you get it for a really low price, then, you know, the weak batteries and everything, it's worthwhile because it's going to be outside charging all the time anyways during the day. Just don't put it in a shady spot. Don't put it on the northern side of your house if you're in the northern hemisphere, far away from the equator. If you're on the southern half of the planet, then don't put it on the southern side of the house if you're far away from the equator. Put it somewhere where it's going to get a lot of light all day long. You can mount it on the house, mount it on something in your yard, you know, whatever. It's up to you. So I opened up this and I discovered that there's a cheapo 800 milliamp hour rechargeable battery in here. 800 milliamp hours will last for several hours, but as you have discovered with me, this one doesn't hold a charge for very long. So I would recommend getting something like this, which is a 2200 milliamp hour battery, and that will definitely last through the night if it's fully charged. When you are mounting it again, make sure it's mounted somewhere with lots of light. In order to replace this battery, you're going to need to melt there's a hot glue there. You're going to need to melt that and get the battery out of that slot. Once you've got it out, you're going to have to desolder it, and then you're going to have to solder the replacement into place and glue it in place also. Now, this is supposed to be a waterproof product. I'm going to be honest with you. I see no waterproofing. It is 3D printed, but there's zero waterproofing whatsoever. So if you're going to put this outside where it's going to be exposed to rain and dew and stuff like that, I would definitely get some silicone. And once you've replaced the battery, take the silicone and run it around the seam here to seal it. Sorry if you couldn't hear all that. So run it around the seam and seal it. And I'm not even sure if the rest of it is going to hold against water or not. So it kind of looks like no, it's not going to. So I would see every connection, every seam should be sealed, either from the inside or from the outside. If you can do it from the inside, it'll look a lot prettier. And it's especially better if it's done on the inside for the solar panel. And make sure the solar panel is facing the sun, not facing downward. It'll never charge unless you've got a mirror under it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel impressed by this product, and I'm not sure how much of that is legitimately just because of, number one, the battery being so wimpy, and number two, that they didn't waterproof it or even make it water resistant. But given the modifications that you'd need to do, I would say don't pay more than $5 ever for this particular product. So yeah, it's kind of a disappointment. If you want to use it indoors near windows, so that you can station it in a window so that every day it charges in the window, and every night when somebody walks by, it turns on and frightens away criminals. I think that would be a clever idea, or hopefully clever. Just make sure that the lights are all pointed outward so that the criminal doesn't get to see inside. So that's it for that product, and it comes in this very no frills box from Temu, and yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
This review is of Ninghai Wanjie Electric Appliance Company Limited solar light model SL-004. Oh my God, there's no light. Well, let me help you to fix that problem. See, now there's plenty of light, right? I know, it's corny. I can't help myself. The older I get, the cornier I get, just like my dad. Well, he also has gotten kind of grumpy, but that's okay. He's in his 80s. He's got it right. So this is entirely powered by the sun. You cannot charge this device, at least not without opening it up and figuring out a way to charge the battery that's inside, but it is rechargeable using the sun. And so it is rated for 5 volts, 1 amp. The battery is an 800 milliamp hour battery, so it's not going to last more than a few hours. And this is what it looks like. So we've got the lights arrayed like this, and this is the actual sensor, and this is the button that controls the mode. Now, when you first get this, I found this out the hard way because the instructions don't tell you this. When you first get this, you have to push the button. If you leave this out to charge, you're going to leave it for years and it will never charge unless you first push the button. So make sure to do what? Push the button, right? So that's it. Once you push the button, you can leave it out to charge, and it'll charge up in a few hours depending on how much sunlight it's getting. You can put this outside because it is waterproof. I don't know if it's UV radiation proof. I hope that this casing and the every part of this is made of UV proof plastics, but you never can tell. But put it out there, and you can buy a set of one, like I got a set of one, or you can buy a set of, I think it's 6, and you can set it up like as a path guide. You can set it up on buildings. You can do it in different ways. Of course, if you're going to put it on a building, you still have to put it where it's going to actually come into contact with a lot of sunlight. Otherwise, it's not going to do a very good job at night. It will not work all night long if you leave it in one of the 2 on settings. So there are 4 settings. The first setting is the current setting, off. The second setting is it's off except for when it detects enough motion to turn on, and then it will stay on until it detects motion. I believe it waits 15 seconds and then turns off again. The third one is it turns on at, I think it's like 50% light all the time, except for when it detects motion, and then it turns on to full. and then once it doesn't detect motion for long enough, it turns off. And the last mode is it's always on full. So, and wow, okay. Here I am trying to show you this, and suddenly what just worked is not working at all. Oh my gosh, that is just so funny that this product that minutes ago at the start of this video worked and now it doesn't. So what does that tell me and you is that I had this in the box for several days before I did the review, and I think it's not very good at holding a charge. I wasn't using it, and I didn't do anything with it until last night when I took it out of the box. Didn't get around to reviewing it then. But the fact that it discharged in that short of a time or whatever is just absolutely insane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge it up, and hopefully we can experience it later on.
Thanks for watching. I need to ask for your help. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon fired me under false pretenses, and on the 17th, I had surgery for the injury that occurred at Amazon that Amazon and Staaricc refused to take responsibility for, so it's coming out of my pocket and my insurance company's pocket. So that means I'm unemployed, and I will not be getting short-term disability from Amazon or from Staaricc. So my financial situation is a bit of a problem right now. If you would like to help me, there are some things you can do. Number one, you can like, subscribe, share, comment, and turn on notifications on my channels. Number two, if you'd like to give a one-time donation, and please don't do this if you can't afford it, you can, on the Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, do a super thanks. Number three, if you would like to help me on a monthly basis, you can become a member on Glenn's Fast Reviews, and or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there. Thank you so much for your support.